The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
So last night, Darth Vader came down from planet Vulcan and said nothing because I'm thinking of Back to the Future. What actually happened was last night I was about to go to bed, and a listener reached out to me and said, "Jeff, did you hear the great news?" And I thought, no, it's 2020. There's no such thing as great news this year. And then I read the rest of the message that said Rian Johnson deleted his Twitter. And at first, I didn't believe it. And then I checked it out, and he did. So let's go look at it together. So if you Google Rian Johnson Twitter, this is what you get. And if you click on the very first one, which is the official Rian Johnson Twitter account, this account does not exist. So Rian Johnson has officially left Twitter. And I'm so upset. Where else am I going to get snarky comebacks and pithy comments about Star Wars and the Manbabies and the fanboys and all this shit? And how am I going to find out about all of the news with his new Star Wars trilogy? Oh wait, I'm not, because it's never going to happen. Now this isn't anything new for Rian Johnson deleting stuff from Twitter. He, in the past, has deleted, I think, a couple thousand tweets, and people were like, what is he hiding? What is he running from? And it was just some lame jokes. It was usually in the wake of the James Gunn situation, I believe. I mean, it's been so long. All of these things have happened continuously for years. Sometimes it's hard to keep track. Was Rian Johnson responsible for the tweets? Was Rian Johnson responsible for the hostages getting... Okay, he was not. It's early here, and I'm blaming him for things he didn't do. Maybe I did them. Okay, no, I didn't. But Rian Johnson's Twitter is officially gone, which means we don't get any of the great responses that we used to get from him. So my dreams have been crushed. I always wanted to get a nice, snarky remark from Rian Johnson telling me why I'm so terrible or toxic or white, and I'm not, and I just wanted that to happen. And so there's really nothing left. But it makes me wonder, is there something else coming? They usually do a tweet exodus when some news is about to break, so people can't, find out stuff from them in their past. So maybe does this mean Rian Johnson's trilogy is moving forward because he's trying to cover his own ass from terrible things he may have said in the past? I don't know. You don't know. But it's fun to speculate and guess. These are all rumors or hypotheses, if you will. What ifs. They're my favorite way to borrow from Marvel Comics. What ifs. But if we go back and we look at some of the tweets from Rian Johnson, we realize some of the things we're going to be missing out on. Some of these gems, which I'm going to be sharing with you throughout this video. So here's a great one. Hard to imagine an adult male would be so infantile. Well, people thought he was buying tweets at one time. And maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But here's his most iconic tweet. The Manbaby. I've had a couple really successful videos in the hundreds of thousands each talking about Rian Johnson, Return of the Manbaby, Revenge of the Manbaby, The Manbaby Strikes Back. Well, I should call this video The Manbaby Strikes Out because it is done. Rian Johnson is off Twitter and he'll probably fall quickly out of people's consciousness, minds, if you will. And I mean, when else are we going to get times like this where he's clearly full of shit? For me, The Last Jedi distills what the spirit and heart of Star Wars has been all of my life. Really? It's been a bunch of antagonistic crap? Come on, dude. Even if the only Star Wars film you saw was The Empire Strikes Back, it was filled with hope. It wasn't called A New Hope, but there was a lot of hope and a lot of excitement, a lot of fun, a lot of humor in The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, you did try to distill that spirit into your film, The Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi. They all suck. They all run together at some point in time, folks. But you did it poorly. You did it badly, and that's all there is to say about it. I don't have any issues to say anything else. No compunction to say anything else about Rian Johnson's films. Oh god, and then we become soulless clean homages, but being alive means messy, and it means every film won't live up exactly with what every fan is expecting or wants. Sorry, The Last Jedi didn't line up with your own certain POV. Really, honestly, I am. May the Force be with you. It's hard to read stuff from that. It's hard to read stuff in general, apparently, for me. But it's hard to read stuff from Rian Johnson like that and not think he's being a dick, because historically he's always been a dick. I mean, as we can see here, there are Reddit threads, Reddit pages dedicated to Rian Johnson's tweets. Like I said, I'm just really sad that we're not going to get more, a direct line to Rian Johnson. Oh man, that's not even from Rian Johnson, that's just to Rian Johnson. But again, here's another hot take, according to himself. Luke is in fact 100% consistent with his character, not the way he's described in marketing blurb, but his actual based on his own words and actions character from the OT. I'll be at the bar if you need me. Rian, no one's going to ever need you. First off, here in California, bars are closed, which I moved in the worst time, the worst state, the worst. But, no, marketing blurbs be damned. We all watched those movies. You didn't. And unlike you, people who've written Star Wars fan fiction don't always get Disney to produce it after their first draft. Yes, again, first draft. More stuff where he's responding to the Mary Sue. If you ever tweeted anything that bad, look, I don't even know what the context is for this one, dude, but you've tweeted a lot of dumb stuff. And now you can't, which makes me... I don't know. The world is a sadder place now that Rian Johnson cannot read Ryan the Boatmaker himself. Here we go. Here was the old article from Deadline. Rian Johnson deletes 20,000 tweets. So let's take a look at that right here. The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson deletes 20,000 old tweets, set off internet conspiracy theorist. This is from July 26th of 2018. So there's something about July and 2000s, or the 20th, or whatever. There's something about July that Rian Johnson does not like with his Twitter. So after director James Gunn's unceremonious outing from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise last week as a result of controversial tweets buried in his timeline that were unearthed by alt-right journalists, that seems a little much. Ryan Johnson's decision to delete some 20,000 of his old tweets posted before this January has sent online conspiracy theorists pondering about whether it has anything to hide and if Disney has issued instructions and its directing stable to cover up their social media histories. This story found its way to the Mary Sue, whose op-ed suggested deletion of social media history was becoming the best practice for figures in the public eye. Johnson responded to that report by confirming there was no official directive at all from Disney to do it. But yes, if trolls scrutinize tweets for ammunition, this is the new normal. It seems like a why not move. Well, too bad when Rian Johnson deletes his Twitter, he doesn't just delete himself from existence. You snap your fingers and no one ever knew you existed. But I guess I really wouldn't like that, because if it wasn't for how terrible The Last Jedi was, we wouldn't have, well over 100 and something thousand subscribers, met tons and tons of fans, and really were able to change our lives. So thank you, Rian Johnson. Oh, I feel grimy telling you thank you, so I won't. I take that one back. But again, if this is Rian Johnson's MO, if he's the kind of guy that wants to use these tweets or hide these tweets because he doesn't want to give trolls ammunition, what is next? Was there going to be something that would gain scrutiny? Will it be that Star Wars trilogy? I don't think it's ever going to happen. Maybe they're going to make some kind of bullshit announcement at this Comic-Con makeup panel or the D23 makeup panel or something like that. And who knows? It's just going to be... Look, what from Star Wars has actually come out that they've promoted months ago? I mean, the Boba Fett show, the Obi-Wan show, these shows that they say, oh, they'll come out eventually. The Boba Fett movie, excuse me. They don't have a pretty good track record. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has fired more than she's hired. She's gone mid-production and reshot film. I mean, with the exception of The Force Awakens, I remember hearing about reshoots for these movies, and look what happened. You had so many reshoots on Solo, you couldn't make a profit no matter what. And The Rise of Skywalker, with all of its reshoots and alleged multiple cuts, shit, that movie barely made a profit, compared to something like The Joker, which blew it out of the water. But back to Rian Johnson, in closing, he is probably the worst thing to happen to Star Wars. Everyone can joke and say, well, it was Jar Jar Binks, well, it was this, well, it was Boshek, well, it was the special editions. Look, there are a lot of complaints that I had with George Lucas and Star Wars. A lot of special edition changes, certain antagonistic things like the forcing of Jar Jar into Episode 2, and he broke the fourth wall and looks directly at you, Deadpool style. I'm aware of all those things, but none of them have been as problematic, and I'm using that word ironically here, folks, none of them has been as problematic as Rian Johnson. Not only did he make a bad film, which destroyed the lore, which destroyed a trilogy in the making, he's an asshole. And he's not afraid to show it, which is nice. But at the same time, he's an asshole to the Star Wars fans that continually buy the products, or used to buy the products. And the shirts, well, that's a product, but you get my drift. This guy's driven a lot of people away. I would argue that Rian Johnson has driven away more people from Star Wars than he has brought to Star Wars. And you're thinking, Jeff, how could you guess that? Well, $300 million less at the box office means $300 million worth of people didn't show back up. They didn't like it. Plus, bad word of mouth. Everyone wants to say, well, The Last Jedi had great word of mouth. It was just angry internet trolls. Well, The Force Awakens made $2.07 billion. And the next film, The Last Jedi, made $1.3 billion. Where'd that $700 million go? The money just doesn't disappear. Those are people that disappeared. They didn't show up to that film. So Rian Johnson has been dead since Jump Street. People didn't like his movie. The Last Jedi is the prime example of a film that gets elevated and praised by the media. The Last Jedi, Captain Marvel, there are these protected films. Birds of Prey, DC doesn't have the money to pay off the right people. But there are these protected films that get elevated because of an agenda. People want to protect the films because they represent what they think is the right side of history and how Hollywood should operate. And fans are just like, this movie wasn't good. It doesn't make sense. You know, in all the Star Wars battles, there's only one film where they have to CGI a weapon out of an actor's hand so it clearly doesn't stab Daisy Ridley. Don't even get me started on Daisy Ridley. She's the worst action hero in Star Wars. I'd rather take Natalie Portman with a giant hairdryer gun shooting at battle droids than Daisy Ridley anything. But it's not Rian Johnson's fault that she was cast. Could have been Brie Larson, which would have been way worse, but it could have been better. But yeah, this is it for Rian Johnson on Twitter. He is gone. He is no more. He ceases to be, and that's all right with me. So, folks, what do you think of this situation? Are you surprised? Do you think Rian Johnson was hiding anything? Do you think this is because Knives Out 2 is coming out? It's going to be controversial, and he doesn't want to deal with anything? Or is he dead? Because when you die, your Twitter account goes away, right? Okay, I know that's not true. He's probably alive. I've never met him in person. But I wish him nothing but the best health-wise. So Rian Johnson, keep on trucking and never make another Star Wars film. Sincerely, everyone. So folks, if you liked this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and share this all over social media. If you like us and you want more of us, we are on Patreon. We're going to be expanding to Subscribe as well as this membership option here on YouTube in the coming days. I've had a couple personal things I've had to take care of, but we're offering all sorts of cool things besides commentaries. You can be on the channel, you can make recommendations for the channel, we can do drinking streams in your honor. All you got to do is request it over at Patreon. $1 a month gets you access to our basic show, after hours, and then the more you go up in the tiers, the more power you have. So if you want unlimited power, join us over there and say, Jeff, Kendo, Dion, Nick, I want you to review Balto. Well, if you're a patron, sure, we'll review Balto just for you. But we'll never review Mother, because we already did it once, and we don't do do-overs. But folks, come back on Tuesday night, July 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for an interview with Star Wars writer J.W. Rinsler. It will be replacing the High Council, but it's going to be a fantastic time. We're going to call it the High Council, so it will be a High Council interview segment. And I figure, since the High Council has built this reputation of being this great Star Wars show that gets great viewership each and every week, well, why not get people that have worked with George Lucas, that are have been a part of Star Wars, that know things that are interesting to talk to. It's great to speculate, it's great to have fun, it's great to interact with each and every one of you, but every once in a while, I think we'd all like someone that has worked with George Lucas directly to come on and give us a brighter picture of how things were at Lucasfilm before the dark times, before Disney. So that's it for me. I'm going to head out, but I'm going to ask the one thing I always do. Go out into the world and be excellent to each other.